Hi guys, welcome to my daily market outlook. Today we're going to discuss the dollar pairs, yen pairs, CAD, and USD Swiss, US 500, gold, and oil. Let's go to the DXY first. We are trading at a break of structure, and the demand chain looks bullish. But I didn't like that we had not a good close on the 4 hour, so we didn't have a candle close above the highs of the break of structure, and it went down lower directly, meaning this could be a liquidity grab to make the switch in structure. I wouldn't bet on that, so I would just be careful. So I would just wait for maybe something like this, some structure to form, and then to take further longs, because I prefer longs more than shorts. But right now we have to wait it out and see. Going to Euro USD, this is kind of flipped. So we are in a bearish supply zone and we are waiting for the short, but these highs, these liquidity highs are not that exact. They're a little bit consolidative and just trickling down lower, and they're not as clean as, for example, this liquidity high. But I would still prefer the short, as you can see on the chart. Maybe if we get this break, like here of the low, we could short this down lower. Okay, moving down to GBP USD. As you can see on the chart, we are also bearish, swing bearish. On the weekly, we are actually bullish. On daily, looks maybe more clean. Yes, we are bullish from this to this leg up, and we could look for the long because we are bullish like this and like this. You could say we took out this liquidity and now we're gonna look for the break up, but the pound is really weak right now, and the fundamentals support more of a strong dollar against the pound, and I see that we have just a supply chain. We have an order flow, and we could just trade it down lower with the order flow. This will be the safer bet, like this. And now we are in this supply zone. So the liquidity highs are not as clear here also, because it was trickling down lower, but we can still look for a short from the 0.5 fib, or if we get a change of character on the 4 hour time frame, and then we can get into a sell. Moving on to AUD USD. AUD USD is one of the cleanest ones out there. This is just a sell. We are overextended, and we are going to look to liquidate these lows here and to reach the 0.5 fib, and we are in a retracement, and we had this ascending channel and then the breakout, and now I'm just looking to trade it down to the 0.5 fib and ultimately these liquidity lows. So I'm in the trade myself. I got in around here and it's already a little bit in profit, although not much, and I'm looking to capitalize on it more and maybe get into a scaling. So going to the JPY basket, let's see. Yeah, it's looking bearish. There is a possibility of intervention by Japan, but right now with the Iran war and everything, I'm not sure if they are going to do that. I think they're going to wait it out because the numbers aren't exactly as clear for them, or the data, the economic data, because it's all disrupted by the war, and the JPY could be just weak because of the oil exports and not because of it itself. And if the war settles, it can just be stronger again. But So right now I would be happy to short it. I'm just waiting for it to retrace into this liquidity points and this higher time frame supply zone, and then short it down lower. So nothing much on here. Going to USD JPY. Going to look the chart. We have a break up here. We are quite high on the chart, so we are a little bit overextended. Here's the point where they intervened last time, and from this point we also saw a big sell-off, so we have to be cautious here, and we are overextended. But yeah, if the dollar index and the JPY have the development that they need, like we get here a change of character and the JPY reaches this higher time frame demand zone, I'm happy to look for a buy still, as long as also the market structure is respected. Like as long as this low is respected, I'm happy to look for a long if we see development in the pairs, in the indexes, and we see, for example, here a change of character in towards the upside on the 4 hours time frame. Now to Euro JPY, I wouldn't trade it because right now it's just messy and it's moving sideways. Okay, now to GBP JPY. It's made a breakdown, and this was the previous break up. Wait, yes. So it is bearish, but I'm also bearish on the yen, so I wouldn't trade it down lower. It's just no correlation for me. I would just leave it be and wait for some more structure. Maybe if the yen flips bullish, or if this flips bullish again, then I would look for a buy here. Or if the yen basket flips bullish, I would be happy for a sell here, because the pound is quite weak also. Okay, moving on to GBP AUD. This is a nice trade. If you see, I took a short here and I got a take profit. So I was just following the order flow on the 1 hour time frame, and I just traded it down lower to the 0.5 fib right here. It's the 0.5 fib and in the zone, and into the higher time frame demand zone. So from now on, like as you see, I followed these supply zones that liquidated here and here, and I got the TP. I'm gonna delete this right now. So from now, I'm happy to look for a buy. Maybe grab some more liquidity underneath here, or here, or on these liquidity lows right here. But these are my two main options. Most of it this one, because it aligns with the 0.5 fib. Then I'm just gonna wait for this, and then the 4 hour change of character, and then we can enter on this break either below the lows of the change of character, or what I would do is below the whole structure and trade it up higher. Yes. Then moving on to USD CAD. USD CAD, and delete this now. I see some upside on this one, although we entered a higher time frame liquidity low, liquidity point, my bad. And right now we could see a retracement into liquidity points and into the 0.5 fib from here to here. So we could look for a short right here, because we have the 4 hour change of character right here. This also took liquidity and we change the character, creating this supply zone, and we continue creating supply zones, but this is the main one for me. So personally, I entered on this one and I'm just trading it up down lower to the 0.5 fib, and let's see how this trade plays out. Moving on to EuroCAD. Yeah, it's also a sell. We are in the 0.5 fib on the higher time frame. We are in this supply zone, but we could also liquidate the supply zone itself and enter this higher time frame supply zone. And yeah, for now it just needs development. Just enter it when for our flips, or you can just enter it based on the higher time frame and just do something like this. This is also a possibility. And GBP CAD, you see I'm in a trade of it myself. I'm trading the higher time frame from swing high to swing low to be cautious, because as you see, this thing is a little bit messy sometimes, but fundamentally it looks very good for me, because the CAD will get stronger if oil prices stay high like this, and the CAD, the GBP is weak right now and getting even weaker every time. And let's see, maybe we can see higher prices on this one to take out some more liquidity here, but for me a short is definitely valid. So we got the break here, like the change of character. I think if you want to trade the low time frames, like another break will be needed, and then you could get into it. So you would have a double 4-hour change of character, you would have a double 4-hour break, and this would be really valid to trade on lower. So going to USD CHF, it is quite overextended indeed, but we could still trade it higher. I think we didn't liquidate it, or did we? Okay, so we liquidated this high, which is not very good, but we could still trade up higher to liquidate these 3 descending highs. So we could liquidate, like on my chart, this low and then go up higher, so like we did liquidate it right now, but I would be cautious because I would wait for a 4-hour change of character. I wouldn't just trade based on this one and then go up higher, because of the uncertainty right now around the dollar and the dollar index. If the dollar index would look great, I would just sell it based on this liquidity low, but right now I just want to see this, and then trade it after the break. Yes. So moving on to US 500 or Nasdaq, how you want to call it. Yeah, I got a short on this one too. Let me remove the chart. So the higher time frame is a little bit bearish right now. Now, of course, it's always bullish, but the immediate higher time frame is bearish, and the order flow is bearish. We are in a bearish daily supply zone, and we continue this supply zone by this 4-hour supply zone. And on the 4-hour time frame, we also see this liquidation and liquidations here before, so it makes it valid. And I see a short here. It's on macro based, it's really macro based and fundamentals based on the news, what happens with the US 500 and the Iran war, but I still see this going down lower. Just monitor the macro and news around the world, and look for a 4-hour change of character, and you could just trade it down even lower to reach those lows right here, these descending lows. Then moving on to another great position you could take is AUD NSD. We are in this supply zone on the higher time frame. The AUD was not as strong right now because of the higher oil prices, but the NSD also, so they wouldn't be as affected by oil prices. Like, this pair is not as affected by the oil prices as something other, because both pairs are weak because of it, but the AUD is always stronger than the NSD. We had this retracement, and now we got the push up, push down, like the fake out, taking liquidity, and then the 4-hour change of character. So from now you could also already take the position from this 4-hour change of character. Me myself, I took a position right here, and I'm trading it up to the highs or for a new higher high like this. And this is also a great position. You could also enter on the lower time frames because it's respecting the 1-hour time frames, the 1-hour demand zones, but you have to be a little bit more careful. But as you can see, these are all options that you could enter. You could enter like this, and be good. So moving on to gold. Let me remove all that. Yeah, I would wait for it to develop again. We just reached a liquidity point which could drive it up a little bit lower, but on the 4-hour time frame we got some structure that it wants to go higher. So I wouldn't be as negative about it going a little bit up higher to reach the 0.5 fib, but gold isn't the pair I want to gold isn't the instrument I want to trade really much right now, because it's a little bit messy and it takes less volume right now because of the war and the dollar and oil presence. But this thing could go a little bit higher before going down lower because of oil and the war, or if the war settles, it could just reach higher highs. This is a possibility. Then we got oil. As you see, I'm in this position myself, and just the monsoon didn't hold. So what's happening right now, Trump does a speech and is saying that Iran wants a ceasefire and everything, but this is of course not true, because he tries to keep these prices lower, so I wouldn't trust on that. I still see upside on oil. We could use this as liquidity, and the market is pricing in a ceasefire right now. That's why it goes down hard like that. But eventually, if the war persists and if there are ground operations and if there is no ceasefire, oil just will rise again and again and again, because it will price out the ceasefire that Trump talks about. So I still see this higher prices, or maybe like 135 right here. So this was the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below, and I see you next time.